Yeah, welcome back, y'all, to another edition of Everything Football 62. I'm your host, Jonathan Big Tex Johnson. We're going to I'm going to go into a little week two thing, and I'm also going to my little calm down series that I got going down. Because a lot of times, if you look up when some of these players do things, like if it's rookies or people start at the gate 2-0 and all this kind of stuff, you all of a sudden you start seeing them started building these people up only within the next couple of weeks to tear them down and whatnot. And you just need to calm down on some of these things because this is just the second week and whatnot. Like I said, I've seen teams go 5-0, 6-0, and the next thing you know, they don't even make the playoffs and end up finishing, something like 9-7 or whatever, or something like that, or 8-8 and things like that. So a lot of people need to calm down on these teams and on these players and whatnot. And some of these players are who they are, and it's only a matter of time before they go from Cinderella to being a pumpkin again or what have you. But I'm gonna start off right now, kind of a wrap up and kind of just some commentary here and there with some of the stuff that I'm gonna do. Uh, if you go back to like I've already talked about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes I think that he's the truth. Kansas City is 2-0, but we've seen this before. We've seen Andy Reid's team go 5-6-0 or something like that last year, whatever like that, and end up losing 4 or 5 straight and whatnot. They still end up winning their particular division, but of course they ended up bottoming out to the Titans, the team they should actually beat in that round, in the wild card round. But Mahomes, I think, is the real deal. Mahomes, 69.1%, 582 yards passing, and 10 touchdowns. 10 touchdowns. Now, people are raving so much about Mahomes, but what everybody's missing the point of it is the fact that KC defense has given up a total of 1,016 yards, 65 points. That's what they've given up. Calm down on Kansas City right now. Mahomes, I think I'm gonna say there's no question. Kansas City's offense, even going back to last year, with that of Alex Smith, was pretty potent. They have playmakers with Kelsey, Hill. Those guys are dynamic. Those guys have speed. They have they score anywhere on the field and whatnot. Their problem is defense, and maybe they get a spark. I think Eric Berry might be on his way back this week. Definitely need him, but defense is a major problem, and that is something that can bite them on the backside if they don't watch it real soon. Because, like I said, that's a lot of points to give up. Like I said, that's quite a few points. You're talking about 32, 33 points a game that they've given up in the last 2 weeks, but they've won because they're outscoring everybody. Uh, you better calm down with this Tampa Bay thing. Everybody's jumping on Tampa Bay and they saying Ryan Fitzmagic and whatever they call him and this, that, and the other and all that. Ryan Fitzpatrick is who he is. He's been in the league 12, 13 years, however long the guy's been in the league. He's been a journeyman quarterback. He's always been a journeyman quarterback. He'll show you glimpses, and then next thing you know, he goes back to being his old self. He's had a few games where whether he was with the Jets, whether he was with Buffalo, or whether he was with the Texans. And when I seen a couple of times he could actually beat New England, and he just ends up making that play. So right now he's feeling himself. Everything is going fine and whatnot with him. He's throwing for all these yards. He's doing his thing. I give him that. He's a solid quarterback when he's on. Again, he's a professional quarterback. And like I said, they're playing against Philadelphia, and Philadelphia got the injuries here and there and whatnot. They're still on that defense and whatnot. But if you look closely at Tampa Bay, if you look real closely at Tampa Bay, they rush for 43 yards. That's all they rush for. They're going to have to eventually get a little bit better than that. Definitely, if they're going to try to contend to do any kind of thing in the future coming up or whatever like that. But you can best believe that in due time, that somebody like Fitzpatrick will eventually end up, in so many ways, end up turning back into what he was, just being a journeyman quarterback. Whatever they're gonna do with Jameis Winston, but like I said, he's taking this opportunity to do what he has to do, and that's fine. But you got to calm down on Tampa Bay. I'm not sold on Tampa Bay, and I'm not sold on Ryan Fitzpatrick. So everybody needs to definitely calm down on that. This might be a kind of crazy when we come about talking about calming down on this one, but with Pittsburgh, which their calling card is known for defense, they are going right now 0-2, and I think they're still going to be a major player there, but maybe their time may be up. I don't know. You should have known that somebody like Ben Roethlisberger was going to come back and do what he did after that poor performance he did the other day. But at the same time, like I said, they was in these games. They've been in both games with the tie. with the tying the ball game and then losing. So right now they what are they haven't won, and they lost one, and then they tied one with Cleveland and everything like that. So you kind of, I mean, but their problem is obviously is defense. But I'm gonna say calm down a little bit. Look, I say if they another 3 weeks, if it's not together, then it's time to panic. But right now, they should be fun because they can score. I think they're gonna get something together. But just kind of calm down on them right now as well. Definitely can calm down on them. What people, what I'm saying, and everything with them. I mean, the whole Le'Veon Bell thing. I mean, that's not gonna go away. But we'll see what happens with that situation. Uh, like I said, Jimmy G, he bounced back. He bounced back. They're 1-1 now and stuff like that. But I said people better still calm down on him because after what happened last week. And then this past week, the other day he got sacked 6 times for like 50 yards. He definitely needs to get rid of that ball a lot faster than what he's doing. He's holding that ball a little bit too much. They got a nice little spark from that little running back today. From that little running back, had a nice spark from him, which is something that San Francisco haven't had a really good back since I guess Frank Gore basically was there, or and I think Beanie Wells was. I think he came over there. I think he was okay or whatever, but they haven't. He had a spark over there in that particular position in quite some time, and beating a Detroit team is just like who knows what's going to go on with Detroit. Poor play, basically all across the board. If you really take a look at it, poor play everywhere. But San Francisco rushed for over 190 yards, and that's and like I said, that's and that was something major right there. I guess the kid's name is Matt Breida, I think that's his name, and he had that nice long run. Georgia Southern. So you can find these guys in the draft in a lot of different places and whatnot where you might not find it. So, but like I say, calm it down. Even with Jimmy G, like I said, and I've told people, oh, you got this thing on Jimmy G. It's just like I said, if he ain't gonna go 12-4 this year, it ain't really much. I'm saying I don't really hear too much. But right now, to calm down. But what they better do, they better kind of keep get their defense so they better get their offensive line shored up, big time, because he can't take too many more 6-sack games like that. I mean, that's not good on somebody new or unloaded a boatload of money up onto, and whatnot. Everybody need to calm down. I sit up there watch up to halftime of the Chicago Bears and Seattle Seahawks game. I thought Jason Witten was gonna write Mitch Trubisky some love letters or whatever, because I'm like, he's on this dude like I don't know what, and I'm like, Trubisky showed some flashes or something. He made a few bonehead mistakes. He's lucky he got picked off twice. He's lucky he didn't get picked off a third time and get it all the way home. But they ended up winning. And what everybody need to calm down on trying to talk about Mitch Trubisky being, well, he might do this, he might do that. No, the straw to stirring that drink right now is Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack has got a different vibe on that team. It's a completely different vibe with him showing up there. He is igniting. When you talk about great ones, and again, it's still young. We could calm down on that. It's still mad young. We don't know what's going to happen. Everybody has an opinion. The thing of it is that what you gotta understand and realize, a great one, they elevate the whole team, both sides of the ball, where they play at and where the others play at as well. So it's a certain kind of little thing that's in the air, and they could easily be 2-0. Trubisky tighten up here and there. They get their running game going back to where it needs to go to with I think what's the guy's name, with Howard, I believe that's his name. I'm gonna say that's his name. Get the running game, because they didn't run the ball very well last night at all. Trubisky had a couple of runs, but they only ran for 86 yards, and let me see. Yeah, Jordan Howard only had 14 catches for 35 yards. He's one of the better backs. There's not really a lot of people to talk about because they're not really doing that much winning. But their defense looked extremely sound in the last couple of weeks, even though they kind of fell off with Aaron Rodgers. But that's what Aaron Rodgers makes you do. But like I said, Khalil Mack, the great ones, can elevate both sides. And like I said, if Trubisky just plays within himself and whatnot, they might can surprise some people over there in the north. But calm down on Trubisky, Jason Witten, because he think he's gonna write him love letters and take him somewhere and meet his family in the whole 9 yards, because I'm like, I still didn't see how he would go in before any some of them other guys in that particular draft, but that's neither here nor there at this point. Uh, and against him, like I say, if Pete Carroll keeps talking stuff about it, he needs to calm down off of Russell Wilson. He better get that man some help, or Russell Wilson is not going to make the season. He is not going. He is not going to do it. Dude is running for his life. That whole entire game, he's running for his life. And if we look at stat line here, let me see. Wilson got sacked 6 times for 24 yards. He was running for his life, hacking at the ball. And like I say, the Legion of Doom, or them people to get in your face and all that kind of stuff, that type of vibe, they no longer have that. And Wilson better get something. But Pete Carroll, as the coach, he needs to get certain things together ASAP on that line and get a running game going on and do something, because that kid is running for his life. And he was 80% of the offense last year, basically. I mean, he does everything. Now, what do you have? And some of his main players was out. So they're going to have to do something for this. They're going to have to do something for Wilson, or this is going to be a long season for Wilson. He might get beat up and not even make it, but he took a beating. He can't take too much more beating. No quarterback can take too many more beatings like that. None of them. You know what I'm saying? They can't take too many more beatings like that. So he definitely needs to get it together, and they need to get him together. And Pete Carroll need to calm down of talking mess about his quarterback. I really don't agree. That's the second week in a row he's doing too much, or he made mistakes and stuff like he made mistakes. I'm like, he's running for his life as soon as he goes back there. All you gotta do is look at the tape, But seeing some, Deshaun Watson, another quarterback running for his life. And running for his life and everything like that, trying to make some things happen. Got, saying he needs line help, he needs somebody, he needs a running game. Defense needs to step it up a little bit. I really thought they was going to beat the Titans, especially they didn't have Mariota, but missed out on that one. Saints got lucky. Cleveland, again, like I said, Cleveland, we calm, like I said, people sitting there saying with Cleveland, said, well, they looking better. They did calm down on Cleveland too. I mean, they are looking better. They're competitive this year. They're more competitive. They have players, but how can you come on, man? Come on. You just going to keep just shooting yourself in the foot in every aspect, and you get Keystone Coppage. It's ridiculous. But that's Cleveland. When you can't finish games if you've never won. You don't know how to do it. You don't know how to overcome adversity and stuff like that. So that's what's going on with Cleveland. And that's why, like I said, New Orleans could easily be on too. So people to watch out. Like that defense wasn't looking all that great either. And that's the second week. Like I said, they let 48 go up on him last week, and they let Cleveland should have won that game yesterday, but day before yesterday and whatnot. Kicker missed 3. Missing I think 3 field goals if I'm not mistaken, and whatnot. So you got a lot of things going on with these different teams and stuff like that. People need to tighten up on for them to go further with some of these different teams and whatnot. But yeah, man. But that's like I said, you had the whole thing with like Carolina and that of against Atlanta. I mean, Carolina could have picked them, but like I said, it's the Cam show. It's the Cam show. They have no running game. And if they don't get a running game, there's something going on in their secondary, it's going to be issues and problems with them. I see that we can probably pick them for 8-8, but because it's not going to be a Cam for, they're going to always think, Cam is, they rush pretty decent. But I'm like, what they better do is go get a running back. And I'm going to tell you right now, Christian McCaffrey is not the answer at running back. He is Wes Welker. He can be a better version of Wes Welker. Let's put it that way, or or whatever. But you want to say he's a running back? Go ahead. You're not going to run that guy between the tackles. He's not built for that. This is not college. He's not built for that. But and whatnot. But a lot of this stuff though, with a lot of these teams and whatnot. Another thing, my last calm down thing is going to be calming down with, like I said, with the Minnesota Vikings. Again, here you have bad call on Clay Matthews. But if you look back further and whatnot, how field goal kickers kind of messed up the whole thing. And the field goal kicker missed it over there. Like I said, with Kirk Cousins, throwing for a bunch of yards, all of that, but he's going to always make that one vital mistake. Luckily, he got bailed out, but he ended up getting bailed out with a missed field goal in a tie game and whatnot, because he threw a crucial pick, but because of the Clay Matthews play, which was ridiculous, they let it go. But I'm like, they were driving down. They picked him off, and it went back, and then of course the guy missed the field goal. So this is what you got going on right now. And I tell people, calm down with the whole thing with Kirk Cousins. We say, well, they give him, well, again, like I said, that's Teddy Bridgewater's team, and y'all know what I'm talking about with that. Y'all know. Denver, like I said, 2-0, okay, they looking pretty good or whatever. Casey Keenum stay doing what he's doing, they'll be all right. But like I said, these quarterbacks, Fitzpatrick, Casey Keenum, we saw what Nick Foles are. When these guys have been in the league for 6, 7, 8 years, Sam Bradford and the ridiculous, I didn't even look at that game. It just made no sense that he's even a starting quarterback. Here you have these guys, those guys eventually, as time goes on, Fitzpatrick, Keenum, Sam Bradford, Nick Foles, they are going to be who they're going to be. So you need to calm down on them, because eventually one might make it through, but they are going to end up being who they are. They're going to be a backup or a so-so quarterback or whatever, or a quarterback that's not consistent. So they will eventually end up being. So I look for Fitzpatrick to turn back into being the Fitzpatrick we all know. We saw Foles basically started being that way or whatever, during the preseason and in these first 2 games. So like that. We'll see what happens with Casey Keenum, but what's going to bail him out is that running back. That's what's going to end up bailing them out. So we'll see what happens. But a lot of these guys, calm down. This is the second week. We're getting ready to go in the third week. We're going to see what happens coming up, but just calm down on some of these guys. All right, just calm down. All right, you guys have a good one.